Okay, so hello, welcome everybody to the first video, and it's basically going to be an introduction to British politics. Please ignore the logo at the top of every slide, Politics and Education. It was an initiative I wanted to do, so run schools in my local constituency, but of course things also never really came to anything, and I went to university, so never happened. So today we're going to be looking at what is government. Who is the government? What is Parliament? What's the difference? The MP for Stroud, the main political parties, and why you should study politics. Now I will just give a heads up on a few links in this video. I have a video, I've got some quizzes. If you'd like to do those, please contact me for either the presentation, but I will give links to the videos at the bottom of the page. Or the bottom of the video, shall I say. So, what is government? Well, the government is a group of people with the authority to govern a country or state, a particular ministry and office, and that's given by the Oxford Dictionary. But we've got to look at the word government. It contains the word govern. To govern means to rule or to control others, and that can be seen in a lot of different things, not just the word government you have for school governors. They ultimately rule and control the school. And there are other things around that. Of course, however, the government tells you what you can and can't do through legislation and laws, which we all have to abide by, and that leads us nicely onto the next slide. Core functions of government. Now we have it says in groups, can you work out? But yeah, we pause the video or request a slide if you want to do this. But the core functions of the government is to make the law, to implement the law, and to interpret the law. And that can be done in a variety of different ways. More on this in a different blog post. Come too far. There are also different forms of government, including democracy, which is electing people to make the decisions for you. Absolute government, which are the rules are set by the leaders and cannot be changed, and aristocracy, which is run by and for the best people in society. That's an opinion based, do ignore that. So, the question now is an example, and the question is, if Britain only had a monarchy and was not elected by the people, but the Queen held a public referendum for every bill that was passed, or every rule that was passed, would this be a democracy? And that's a question I'd like you to think about. Now, of course, I can give you the answer straight away, and that's yes. It is. Britain's already a democracy, but the democracy can extend to us only having one person who puts the rules out and makes us vote on them, yes or no, because that would still be a democracy, because we're still having our say. What wouldn't be a democracy is if the leader had the power to do whatever they wanted. They said, right, I'm scrapping working rights for everybody over the age of 52. No one can have a say. That wouldn't be democratic, and it wouldn't be a democracy. So, it says here in groups, what is Parliament? Is it different? Well, we can ignore that. So Parliament is made up of three different things. Firstly, the House of Commons, which is the elected MPs from the constituency in Britain, and it is formed of many different parties. The House of Lords, and the Crown, which is currently the Queen, Elizabeth II, future the King, and the King after that, and the King after that. A video on the next slide. So there's a link to the video. You can either copy it by pausing, or I will include it in the description below, but we'll just skip on to that. So this was based around my constituency, which is Stroud, and who the MP was. Now, for the last two terms, Neil Carmichael has been elected, which isn't a surprise, but wouldn't be the sort of person I wanted, obviously. He is a member of the Conservatives and has an interesting view on how strange should be. But, yeah, he got elected. It's the democratic decision. So let's have a look at the main political parties. So, you know the main political parties. So, starting from left to right, we have the Conservatives, Labour, Liberal Democrats, the UKIP, United Kingdom Independence Party, and the Scottish National Party, who did extraordinarily well in the 2015 elections. So it's a little quiz here. But this can be done, on your own, but I'm just going to talk through the next few slides, as though it isn't a quiz. Okay. So the leader of the Conservative Party is Theresa May. The leader of the Labour Party is Jeremy Corbyn. The leader of the Liberal Democrat Party is Tim Farron. The leader of UKIP, or interim leader, should we say, is Nigel Farage. But since the elections, as this presentation is out of date, it is now Paul Nuttall. So this will need changing, so please do excuse that. Why should you study politics? What does it impact? Well, it impacts everything and every subject you do. There is not one subject it doesn't impact. It impacts the decisions you make in life, the food you buy, the clothes you buy, the taxes on that, the amount you pay to the government. And it's all influenced on the way you vote, essentially. I mean, there's reasons for and against voting for parties, and there's reasons for and against being a member of a particular party. But of course, ultimately, politics impacts everything. It impacts the job market. But, as in my opinion as well, hopefully other people will share the same opinion. Quite an interesting thing to look into. Whether you just touch on the basis of it, or whether you go deep inside it. Very interesting. And if you are interested, there of course is further reading involving the contemporary British politics and government, written by Phil Cocker and Alistair Jones. Very interesting read. Shows an independent view on politics and government. So give that read, check it out if you're interested in more. If not, don't worry. And finally, thanks. Any information, any queries, please don't hesitate to contact me. My WordPress page is down at the bottom, and I can provide you with my personal email address if you'd like to speak to me or contact me with more information. Information expressed is always on my own views, and I hopefully haven't offended anybody in that, just what I'd say. If you have liked the videos, would like some more videos, please like and subscribe. And I will try and keep you updated with regular videos. I hope that has all worked out lovely, and that's all, folks. See you again.